This is the Uprising Revival channel. Welcome to today's show. I wanted to do a video on this because while all this other chaos is happening that we're hearing on the news over and over again that I'm struggling to get information out on, I wanted to cover what just casually happened on 60 Minutes, which was an interview with the guy they call the godfather of artificial intelligence, letting us know how great AI is. How dangerous AI is, which we all know. But it's amazing that they can talk openly about the dangers of AI, about how people are going to lose their jobs, and eventually AI could turn on us and murder all of us. And we're still, as a human race, allowing the creation of artificial intelligence because, of course, the good things with AI outweigh the bad things. Now, what are the good things with AI? Well, nobody actually knows, of course. They try to do the same thing with everything else with technology, which I've told everyone who listens to me over the years, that they use propaganda by pushing and saying how beneficial it is for human health to have AI, to have this type of stuff on your phone, to have this type of stuff on your technology. So everybody just dismisses the dangers of it because they think it's going to actually help them live longer, when really it's about getting technology inside of your body ultimately. But it's also about the destruction of human beings. And I'm going to play you some clips from this 60 Minutes interview where he's talking about how AI might escape control by rewriting its own code. AI might butcher everybody out there. We don't know how dangerous AI is. And of course, one of the things though, not your life, okay? The things they're concerned with about AI, you might say, oh, I'm hearing this stuff. Yeah, I guess they're talking about to be very careful with AI because maybe it might turn and kill all humanity. Oh, no. They're telling you that it has the capability to do that. But what their concern is with AI is the dangers of misinformation, of course, as if artificial intelligence would ever actually give out disinformation. But disinformation is always their biggest concern because then everybody would realize who's behind this, who these people are who are behind all these events that constantly happen, who these people really worship, and what these people do in secret. So they got to make sure they control the information flow. But this aired openly, which just amazes me. This aired openly on national television, and nobody is speaking up saying, okay, we didn't vote for this. Okay, this is like the equivalent of allowing a mass murderer to run free and do stuff, because this is unregulated technology where it has the ability to murder people and no one will be held liable. I mean, it sounds like not to say something gross, I mean, it sounds like the perfect wet dream for these people. I mean, it's literally, that's what it is for them. Getting away with murdering civilians, getting away with taking humans' jobs, by putting people into poverty and destroying the human race. And they're openly allowed to talk about this. Here's the video clips from 60 Minutes.
Artificial intelligence will save the world or end it. You have Geoffrey Hinton to thank. He says that AI systems may be more intelligent than we know, and there's a chance the machines could take over. Does humanity know what it's doing?
No. We're moving into a period when we may have things more intelligent than us.
You believe they can understand?
Yes.
You believe they are intelligent?
Yes.
Are they conscious?
I think they probably don't have much self-awareness at present.
Will they have self-awareness?
I think they will in time.
And so human beings will be the second most intelligent beings on the planet?
Yeah.
He dreamed of simulating a neural network on a computer. Look at that. Oh my goodness. This is Google's AI lab in London. Robots were not programmed to play soccer. They were told to score. They had to learn how on their own. The machine teaches itself. I think these AI systems are better at learning than the human mind.
I think they may be, yes. But as soon as it gets really complicated, we don't actually know what's going on any more than we know what's going on in your brain.
Don't know exactly how it works. It was designed by people.
No, it wasn't. But we don't really understand exactly how they do those things. One of the ways in which these systems might escape control is by writing their own computer code to modify themselves. That's something we need to seriously worry about. They will be able to manipulate people. These will be very good at convincing people because they'll have learned from all the novels that were ever written, all the books by Machiavelli, all the political connivances. They'll know all that stuff. They'll know how to do it. Well, the risks are having a whole class of people who are unemployed.
Other immediate risks he worries about include fake news and autonomous battlefield robots.
I can't see a path that guarantees safety.
Can't afford to get it wrong. Why?
Well, because they might take over.
Take over from humanity?
Yes, that's a possibility. If we could stop them ever wanting to, that would be great. But it's not clear we can stop them ever wanting to. There's enormous uncertainty about what's going to happen next. And because they understand, we need to think hard about what's going to happen next, and we just don't know.
So it's absolutely disgusting. I mean, it's disgusting that we're living in a time period where we're allowing Geoffrey Hinton, the computer scientist known as the godfather of AI, to talk about all the benefits of artificial intelligence, but really telling us they're the dangers of it because they're preparing people for this. Now, even going on to mention things I've talked about in the past about using these things, these drones, these machines on a war field. And that's why they don't ultimately care at the end of the day about how many people are armed, because guns are going to be out there no matter what. We need to think bigger. We need to think about building things that could short circuit this, which would be giant like EMP things or whatever you want to call them, where we'd have to assemble these things to short circuit them. I mean, you're going to need nets. You're going to need I mean, to actually have to think like this is utter insanity. So I know anybody listening is like rolling their eyes, or some people are probably saying, yeah, I don't even want to grasp that thought. Just kill me if this ends up happening. But literally, this is what we're headed towards. Right? And this is what humanity's heading towards. So anybody out there with kids, anybody out there with grandkids, this is what they'll have to worry about as we get closer. Now, they already have this technology in place. It's just a matter of time of desensitizing people to it. Because the ultimate thing that they do is they show you this stuff in advance and they desensitize you to it by constantly just revealing a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. Then people just start to accept it. Now we're at a point where even when the cell phone came out, think about where we've gone from then in the early 2000s to where we are now, where people literally, or, it was the late 90s, let's say, but where people literally can't go anywhere without it. When if, like I've said a million times, when the phone first came out, most people didn't want to have it on them. Like, what's the point of this? They were living their life without a phone. They're like, well, in case of emergency. Like, well, if there's an emergency, I'll just I'll walk to a payphone, or I'll find a payphone on a highway. Right now, it's like you go to the mall or wherever, and if you realize you don't have your phone on you, people automatically turn around. They short circuit without it. No pun intended. So the rapidly advancing AI technologies could gain the ability to outsmart humans in 5 years' time, said Hinton. In an interview with 60 Minutes, one of the ways these systems might escape control is by writing their own computer code to modify themselves. And that's something we need to seriously worry about. So right there, they're preparing people for these things to turn rogue on society. But the fact of the matter is they wouldn't be rewriting themselves. These people would be programming them to destroy us. And then they could just do what they always do, blame it on a boogeyman and say, oh, the computers reprogram themselves. Well, if the computers have the ability to modify themselves and reprogram themselves, literally like Terminator, which is just, it's unbelievable to even be talking about this. Every human being on Earth, no matter what their political affiliation is, whatever their gender is, every human being should unite on the cause to stop the production, stop the funding of artificial intelligence, period. Right? Oh, it's something that could just murder us in our sleep that we couldn't hurt with a gun? Yeah, it doesn't sound like a good idea. Oh, but the pros outweigh the cons. Oh, what are the pros? Oh, the pros are that, I had to cut some of the clips out because of the copyright, which is unbelievable here on YouTube. But some of the stuff he was talking about beneficially was just that the AI is able to make new medicines and all this stuff. Oh, it's making new medicines, right? Is it making the medicines that they just released on everybody that didn't cure anything? That everybody poisoned themselves? Yeah, okay. No, we know humans are behind all of it. So what this enables them to do is let these things go rogue and then blame it on them, reprogram themselves, and just go, oopsies, while they're all hiding underground and hiding in mountains. That's why this needs to be, people need to be notified of this. If this happened in the Wild Wild West, it would never have happened. Let's be real, right? I mean, if this happened 100 years ago, human beings wouldn't have cared if they didn't like a person personally, etc. They'd be like, this is not happening. This is not occurring. We're not allowing it. But we continue to allow them to do these things without our permission. We continue to allow them to make technology that's unsupervised, that's dangerous and deadly, more deadly than anything we could possibly imagine. And we just let them do it in the background because people are like, oh, whatever, I just see what I see right now and I don't care. As long as I have my phone, I love technology, right? And of course, that's the other thing that ties into it, how they've made people fall in love with their technology. How convenient, right? Everybody's falling in love with their technology as they, prepare people for this type of deadly, these deadly robots to be released. And people are like, oh, that just sounds like you're talking about a sci-fi movie. They're openly telling us this on the news. We've seen, have you ever seen like the Boston robots, the institute in Boston that releases all these videos of these robots? It's insanity. It's frightening. These things are doing backflips. These things are coordinated, more coordinated than most of these zombie humans are. And of course, they're impenetrable. That's why you'd have to short circuit them, really, because these things are going to weigh a lot more than a lot of people out there, especially the men in today's society who weigh like 90 pounds soaking wet, who are too focused on their hair and their skinny jeans. So humans are going to be defenseless against this. And then you tie in the other thing with this, which should get people upset, is about the jobs. They're openly telling us that human beings aren't going to be able to work because of this. And we're like, oh, that's great. There should be laws in place that corporations aren't allowed to use artificial intelligence. They're not allowed to use artificial. I mean, and I don't know if anybody out there, I know how advanced their technology is versus what they tell us. But you ever get on the phone with some of these AI things now that every company makes you go through AI, whether it's like, you know, you're calling the septic company or whatever it could possibly be. You know, you're calling your cable company, whatever. You ever get on the phone with these things? They're clueless. They can't even understand what you're saying half the time, and they just send you right back to the menu. So even though I know they're more advanced than that, I get it. The fact that that's what they've revealed to us, and we're like, oh, okay, well, we all know that, you know, we all see the bumbling AI out there, and then they're telling us, oh, we're going to empower it and give it unlimited, unlimited free reign over society. And then, of course, we're going to let these things take your jobs. So shouldn't there be laws and regulations in place where all jobs should be for human beings, that we shouldn't use technology, shouldn't be allowed to? These should be things that we do and care about. But of course, the other thing that they're tying in subconsciously, if you haven't noticed with that, is this perfection mindset, right? I've talked about this over the years. I'm sure a lot of you forget some of those videos because they weren't super important, but I talked a lot about how sports are being used to normalize AI to take over human jobs. That's why they constantly love to just blow these stories out of proportion about referees in sports. If you don't follow sports, what they do is anytime there's a call that's missed in a sports game, they make it out as if somebody was shot on the field. And the next day, they just talk about it over and over. Oh, the referee missed this. Oh, the referee made the wrong call. It costs the team. So everybody's emotionally invested in their team. They're obsessed with their team. They think they're on their team. They've gone so crazy at this point that they feel like they've gotten screwed over. And then it's human imperfection, right? And then they come in and what do? They tell us about how, well, we could have robots and technology can make sure that there's never any missed calls. And that's where sports are headed, right? That's where it's headed with football. Like, if, you know, they'll be able to tell if a guy touches another guy down the field and they can call a flag on it or whatever. Then we start getting more and more into technology into our lives with policing, et cetera, right? That's where it goes to from there. Then they see stories about what's going on in New York with robot police. Right, China, the robot police monitoring people who are trying to escape their homes when they're locked in over you-know-what a few years ago. And currently still in a lot of places over there. There's still a lot of that going on. So that's how they subconsciously do this. They say, hey, you know what? Oh, and everybody's like, you know, yeah, I like the team. Oh, the team got screwed because they just keep hearing the narrative repeated about the referees and making mistakes and human error. And people just seek perfection. Oh, human error, human error. Oh, well, robots don't make any errors. That's right. The robots won't make any errors until, of course, they turn on humans. And it won't be an error. They'll tell you it's an error that they reprogram themselves because they're so smart. But it'll really be human beings who program them to destroy us, just like they're programming them to take our jobs away. And of course, they'll be hiding and wipe their hands clean as they unleash this on humanity, unless we stop it from happening. But nobody cares because everybody's too busy trying to figure out if men can have babies or not, instead of worrying about stuff like this. But I'm worrying about it, but not so much worrying, I'm preparing for it. Because there's nothing more I'd like to do than short circuit these things and then urinate on them. Okay? I'm sick and tired of seeing these people get away with what they're getting away with. I'm sick and tired of I might equally be more sick and tired of people allowing them and not caring about this stuff as they show us and reveal it right in front of our faces, talking about, the dangers, of course, that they can go rogue. Oh, and the other danger is misinformation. And nobody's still realizing why they're silencing everybody because they don't want to get exposed and overthrown. And everyone's like, they're silencing you because you could hurt, you're hurting people's feelings. So they're silencing you because what you're doing is dangerous. Oh, is it? Having an opinion and explaining these things is dangerous? Why is it dangerous? Well, because somebody's going to hear what you're saying and they're going to go act on it. Oh, I could say that about anything, can I? You could say it literally about anything. And these idiots believe everything that they hear. So as we're gearing towards hell on earth, which we're pretty much living in, they're just letting us know quietly while all this other stuff is going on over in the land of bagels, letting us know this guy, which this isn't the first time the godfather of AI has come out and talked about this. And one of the other things that was important in the clips that that I wasn't able to get in there, not all of it at least, was about how this guy was obsessed with the human brain and wanted to do neurological examinations, et cetera, on the brain, but he wasn't very good at it, so he decided to make a computer brain. Now, if you've seen the video clips I've done on Gordy Rose, showing you all this stuff about artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and demons, It's very important stuff. Those videos are over on the website, Uprising Revival. If you haven't checked it out yet, I recommend that you do. I'd probably upload some of those again here on YouTube, but openly telling us that they're demons and not what, because people don't think like what actually runs these things. They're just like, oh, chips. Oh, okay. What does that mean? Potato chips? No, chips, and you don't understand anything more about. Oh, okay. So chips run this. Nobody's fascinated or even curious about what they're doing, how quantum computers work, why they have to keep temperatures cold. A lot of this has to do with pulling over what's on the other side. A lot of this has to do with demons, and they openly talk about this stuff. Okay, so it's pretty insane how normal they've made this. And again, people are going to be falling in love with the technology that's, that has demonic entities summoned inside of it, and literally making man, machine, man, and demons one. And there you go. It's all biblical. Always has been, always will be. I thank everyone for being here. Hope you're doing well. Thanks again for subbing to this channel. Hope to see you over on the website. God bless all of you as always and your families.